Welcome, dear students. Thank you very much for joining me today's session. My name is Hameed Asghar, and on behalf of Institute of Freelancing, I welcome you all. It's a consecutive 10th batch, which is going to be end today, and I thought I should give you a little bit professional tip, and with that tip you can very easily start your career as a professional graphics fashion designer, and you can start getting the projects online. And how can you do this? That is something which I'm going to tell you straight away into this small course, and that is that how can you start cropping the pictures or e-commerce pictures or e-commerce key different type of pictures, uh, which way could be the easiest way you can get the projects, वो projects किस तरह से आते हैं, and how can you apply against that projects, and if you win that projects, how can you easily get the maximum benefit from it. Okay, so when it comes to the world largest platform by which you can very easily get the projects is the Upwork.com. And there are plenty of projects which in fact comes on this website, and that is Upwork. And a project which actually comes to my mind and I thought I should be sharing with you all is the e-commerce photo retoucher. And this is something, by the way, we have already done in our Photoshop sessions. And I'm going to explain you each and every process straight away. So here is the project details. The client is from United States, right? And I just do not want कि मैं इससे ज़्यादा आपको detail बताऊं, but the requirement of this client is that they need to hire two freelancers, and what they will do. We are seeking a professional photo researcher with intermediate to advanced skills in Adobe Photoshop or e-commerce products. You will be required to retouch e-commerce photos such as clothes, hats, purse, shoes, belts, accessories. To make things easier, you will be given a step-by-step guide, and there is a long list. And the expectation also that you can expect to edit 15 to 40 images per week, right? And the other thing is that you should be able to handle 10 photos an hour. That is the maximum which the company is expecting, right? And the hourly job which they expect is that they are looking for 30 hours per week and for more than 6 months. And the expertise level is required approximately, if you fall into this hourly categories, that means $10 to $25 an hour, you can apply to this job. Right now, if you have already on to this website, you are user or you have subscribed to upwork.com or valid account, if you have there, you can just go and submit a proposal there, right? And that is how this whole process starts. So let me move on from this to, and let's see what exactly is this thing, in this e-commerce photos. The whole process starts from where it gets started and how it reaches to you and how will you be able to do that. So I'm going to explain you the complete process today, so that you can also be eligible for these kind of jobs, and very easily you can do this. That is how in fact the whole process start. The company or the e-commerce company which in fact asks you to photo edits, they get the projects done like this way first. In this case, as you see that the photographers from any of the market, they actually capture the products on these white backgrounds or any color, any of the backgrounds, right? So let me go through another things like something like this and things like this. Eventually, you receive the product in this shape to your screen, and then the whole process start with you, right? So you have to eventually do this from this before to after this, or maybe The other way could be that the other products like on different backgrounds and things like this. So it- other than that, there could be some products like this in which you required to do the Photoshop at this level. But we are not interested right now that we should reach to that. Let me move on from this to Photoshop and let me show you the complete simplest process by which you can do this work, right? So let's jump into Photoshop with this image. Okay, so here we go. Here we are in Photoshop, and the product which was sent by are the photos, in fact, received from this e-commerce company to me is this. Now, the requirement is that you need to first and foremost change the background. The second requirement could be like, let's change the colors, tones, and maybe from this color to any other color. And the further requirement could be is that if the product is without the background, you can place this product into any other advertising material. For example, that may be a leaflet, that may be a trifold brochure, or that could be a streamers or the billboards or anything like this. So the process starts like this. When you receive the product from the company as a project is something like this, and you start doing project on this. So as I told you earlier, there are multiple ways of doing this, and let me show you the most simplest option. You can start as an experiment first, but in detail, when it comes to the professional level, there are plenty of other ways. There are so many ways. You have plenty of techniques by which you can use and apply this. So as I told you earlier, there is a quick selection tool. Just select the quick selection tool, and while bringing upon this, you can see here is the selection that by default has been made, and you can just zoom into this area and you can add this into selection also. And for example, let me only pick this one, and with the help of list, let me double click and press OK. Now is without the outer side we have to delete, so we have to invert the selection. The object has already been selected, so into the tools menu, let's move on the select and select the inverse area, and that is the most simplest way. You can simply remove the background, right? So as you can see, the image has been now transparent. So let me deselect with the help of Control plus D, and now you can add on any other layers into the background of this layer. And let me pick up any, for example, this color scheme, and Alt plus backspace, sorry, Control plus backspace. Sorry, I haven't selected that yet. Okay, and something like this, right? So here we go. So that is how you can very easily start doing this work. Now let me go through another way, and that, let me undo this, and here we go, right? So more precise and detailed way of doing this kind of project is usage of pen tool. Professionally, it's a most easiest way of cropping the image, and as we have done in our classes, let me zoom on to this first. This is just a demo project, so the quality of this picture is not that much high, but eventually you should expect that once you receive the original uh, photography from the e-commerce website, that will be in a very much high raw footage, and that must have been into 40 megapixels and 50 megapixels and 60 megapixels, up to that much level, right? So you have to simply zoom into any level, whatever you are interested in. So now let me start from anywhere. Let me pick up this angle, and let's move on to the cropping of this image. Let me select from this, and okay, here we go. So let me select from this, and Okay, G. Here, with the help of Alt key, I have break this curve. Let me add another break with the help of this. So you have to be very much precise now. If you think that angle is okay, that's okay, up to you. And then without breaking the angle, you can just add on these things. So let me go and show you the final thing, like with a quick, without wasting time. Here you can see now I have just completed the complete path with the help of path pen tool, and as you can see the path has been created. So let's me control press the control key on the keyboard and click on this image, and here is the complete selection that has been made. So this is something for one time you have to do. Now easily there are multiple ways. Either you can copy the selection, the image from here, and let's make a new image. Let's create a new big image, and maybe something like a poster type image or A4 size of image, and you can place this image now into that. And how can you simply do that? Let me create file a new document, and from here presets from custom size to US papers or the international papers, and instead of A4 or whatever the size, I'm expecting something like this page. And now we are interested, there should be a gradient on this. So let me select from here to a gradient, and something like this. We placed a gradient by default, something like this. Now we have to bring that selected image. How can you do this? Very simple. From edit, let's have a copy. Now you can see the appropriate layer, the selected area. Now let's move on to our A4 size page, and let me from edits to the paste. And here you can see, here is the image which has been right now. You can make it at any level. You can bring anything from this, whatever the company name, you can place anywhere here. Or if that is not required from the company side, you can simply use this, or without the outside, I mean without the white area or transparent image, simply go to the selection and inverse the select, invert selected me. This is something which you have to delete. Now there's a very simple process. Let's go on to file, and as the save as, or maybe you can export this image into TIFF format, into PNG format, or any format. As you can see right now, there is an image, and you can place that the project one has been finished from your side, and let's save that image as the PNG format. So that will save the image. You can either forward straight away this to your this client, as you can see the e-commerce photo retoucher. So you can do the same application, same thing on cloths, hats, purses, shoes, belts, accessories, etc. And you can see the additional process roughly looks like make a selection of the background. As you can see right now, we have eliminated the white background now, and that is now to any other. Run a provided Photoshop actions. Photoshop actions means you have to go apply all the different functions that might have been. That's, let's open up this specific size of the image and place that image into that and save eventually the preset actions that is required. Then the resize of the image, quite obvious now, as you can see into the Photoshop. Sorry, let me move on to Photoshop. As you can see right now, here is a different size. You can place it anywhere. You can do make it with the help of transformation. You can make it big or small or any other. That is something which you can very easily do. And that is what the requirement of the client. So ensure proper brightness. So how can you change the brightness of this picture? Pretty simple. Let's again move on to this picture. Depending upon the background colors, you have to change the lighting of this. So very simple. Go to the menu, top menu, from image to adjustments and brightness and contrast, levels, curves, and exposure. This is something which you have to change from this. So let me change up the curves. As you can see right now, the whiteness has been added, and from here you can change the darkness of this image also, and things like this, right? So this is something now open without disturbing the background. You can change the brightness, or you can change the image curves and all those details. So let's move on to this. Remove any blemish if necessary, dirt, dust, wrinkles, etc. So that is quite obvious, very simple. Let's move on again to Photoshop. Before starting the work, here is the product. For example, if you are interested to move something like this, you can use the patch tool. Very simple. Like for example, is there any spot here or anything like this? With the help of patch tool or the stamp tool, you can very easily do that also. So I assume with the help of this, very easily you can reach to this level, very, very easily. And even to 10 photos an hour, as I told you the process, very easily you can do this, right? So I hope and I wish that your work should be acceptable to the client, and that is how you can start making money on Upwork, as well as on Fiverr, as well as on any other platforms, which I've already shared a video before, day before yesterday, and you can see that is marked on the top right corner, top right corner, yes. And you can go through and take the maximum benefit from that video also. So best of luck to you, students. Let's start your journey on these e-commerce based websites. Get the project from there, apply against these projects, and let's start creating fun. Let's start creating creative things. With the help of these small tips and tricks, you can very easily earn a very, very good and handsome money. So hope to speak to you soon again with another very interesting topic. And till then, take care of yourself and bye bye.